let's move on to the next topic of electrochemistry. Variation of conductivity and molar conductivity with concentration. Means if we add water, dilute it, what will happen to them? So first I am taking kappa, that is specific conductance or also called as conductivity. You remember we have done the definition of kappa. It is conductance of unit volume of the solution. That means if the formula, if we are saying G, what was G? Conductance is equal to kappa into A by L. So if the length, that is the distance between the two electrode is 1, area is 1 centimeter square, the volume will be 1 centimeter cube. So then we say kappa and G are equal. Now how will concentration affect kappa we are discussing? Kappa, that is specific conductance, decreases with the decrease in the concentration, means with dilution. The reason for that, number of ions per unit volume decreases. When you add water to it, per unit volume, how many ions are present now after dilution? Will decrease. So K will decrease for what? For both strong and weak electrolytes. So the same trend is observed for both strong and weak electrolytes. What I will repeat once again, K decreases with dilution for both strong and weak electrolytes. Reason being, number of the ions per unit volume decreases. Now second, we will be talking about molar conductivity, that is lambda m. What was lambda m? Just to revise, I have written the definition once again. It is conductance of volume V of the solution that contains 1 mole of the electrolyte present between the two electrodes with the distance L and A being the area of cross section. So this was the formula we have done in the last video. Lambda m is 1000 kappa by m. What was this? This was kappa divided by the molarity. If it was not 1 molar, we were saying that is N by V, number of moles by volume in liter. So that volume in liter we wrote it as 1000 centimeter cube. So in a way we can also say lambda m is kappa into V. That means molar conductivity depends upon volume. So what happens in this lambda m? When we add water, that is with dilution, since the volume increases, the lambda m also increases for both strong and weak electrolyte. Please mark it, student. This is very important from board examination point of view. This graph can be asked in any of the form. Just see. The graph is between lambda m and root C, root of the concentration. Now for strong electrolyte, it is increasing in this manner. That is with decrease in the concentration. This is how the concentration decreases. With the decrease in the concentration lambda m, the curve is going slightly up like this. It is increasing, but the increase for strong electrolyte is slightly less. Reason for that, the strong electrolytes are those which are always ionized at all concentrations. That means let it be very strong or a dilute solution, they are always ionized to greater extent. Whereas for weak electrolyte, with decrease in concentration, you will observe the lambda m is increasing and the increase is very abrupt. Here it is abrupt increase in the lambda m value for the weak electrolyte, because for weak electrolytes with the dilution the ionization increases, so of course conductivity will increase. Now one more thing, for strong I can extend this curve and I can get one point here where this lambda m touches the concentration nearly equal to 0. So this point is called as lambda m naught. It is called as molar conductivity at infinite dilution, or it is also called as limiting molar conductivity. Okay, for strong electrolytes, the curve can be extrapolated and that lambda m naught value can be calculated, which cannot be done for the weak electrolyte. Reason being, it's going up straight, parallel to this curve, parallel to this line. So lambda m naught cannot be calculated for weak electrolyte. Now, this graph is obtained from this particular equation, that is mainly for strong electrolytes. Lambda m is lambda m naught minus a into root c, because lambda m naught otherwise for weak I am not able to calculate. So this lambda m naught of course is the infinite dilution. A is a constant. Constant value depends upon the nature of the solvent and temperature. Now what temperature, of course with temperature ionization will change. Now how about solvent? Various types of solvents will give different combinations of cation and anion. For example, NaCl. NaCl has one cation, one anion. That means 1:1 ratio of cation and anion. So this will have all such electrolytes having 1:1 ratio of cation and anion will have the same value for A. Likewise, calcium chloride. 1:2, 1 calcium, 2 chloride. This all such electrolytes having this category of cation and anion will have same type of A. Likewise for this 2:2, that means 2 plus charge and 2 negative charge. Okay, it is Mg2 plus, SO4 2 minus, so 2:2. So all those which are having this ratio will have the same A value. So what we have done in this graph, with the dilution, lambda m increases for both strong and weak electrolytes. For the strong electrolyte, the increase is slightly less because they are always ionized at all concentrations. And lambda m for weak electrolytes increases abruptly. Lambda m naught cannot be calculated. Now what was the reason we have discussed for lambda m increasing with dilution was this. It is directly proportional to volume. Volume increases. So since volume increases containing that 1 mole of the electrolyte, therefore lambda m will also increase. Now one more thing. Lambda m naught, we said, cannot be calculated for weak electrolyte. So to calculate that, there is a law, Kohlrausch law of independent migration of ions, which says that the sum of the individual conductivities, the sum of the individual conductivities of cation and anion put together gives you the molar conductivity. Like Cl minus, that Cl minus, let it be attached to Na plus or to K plus, it will have its definite value of conductivity. It will not vary depending upon what cation it is attached to. For example, lambda m naught for NaCl will be equal to lambda, this is a smaller lambda we are writing with reference to cation. This we are using for the electrolyte. So this is equal to the molar, naught is limiting. So limiting molar conductivity of NaCl is equal to limiting molar conductivity of Na plus limiting molar conductivity of Cl minus. Likewise, if I write for MgCl2, the limiting molar conductivity of MgCl2 will be limiting molar conductivity of magnesium ion plus twice, because it is giving 2 chloride ions, twice of limiting molar conductivity of chloride ions. If we can generalize like this, lambda m naught is equal to, that is limiting molar conductivity of any electrolyte will be this nu represents the number of cation and anion. The number of cations into limiting molar conductivity of cation plus number of anion into limiting molar conductivity of anion. Now how do we apply this Kohlrausch law of the independent migration to calculate the lambda m naught for weak electrolyte? We'll be discussing in the next video.